own, whether you deliver C-section, whether you deliver with an epidural, all the drugs in the book, no drugs at all, at home, in the woods. I'm not shaming anyone for how they chose to give birth or how their birth went. I think if you deliver a baby, then you are a superwoman, and it doesn't matter how you choose to do it or how it happens for you. TMI, this whole video is going to be TMI, so just throwing that out there. So beforehand, sorry, there's a fruit fly in here and it's driving me nuts. I looked at Kyle's sister and I was like, I either just peed my pants or my water broke a little bit. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for those of you guys who don't know, we had our baby. It's 12 days now. 12 days ago we had him, and I wanted to share with you guys our birth story and our labor and delivery story. It definitely did not go as planned, nor does it ever, but it was still an extremely positive experience, and I really wanted to share it with you guys. I think Babe is probably gonna wake up here pretty soon, but if you guys have not seen him, I will not be showing him in this video today. I may be holding him or something, but I'm not going to do like a formal showing of him. So if you guys do want to see him, then you can follow me over on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram handle somewhere here on the screen and also down below. So yeah, if you guys want to hear our positive birth story, then just keep watching. Okay, so starting out, I want to just share kind of like what our plan was and what our goal was going into labor, and what we wanted our birth experience to be like. So overall, our number one priority was to have a positive birth experience. Whatever that meant, whatever that came to, we just wanted it to be a positive experience. So we took a hypnobirthing class, which was amazing. We absolutely loved it. It was super beneficial. You learned a lot about just birth in general, and also just like the history of birth and all of that. But hypnobirthing essentially is like removing the fear of giving birth. So it really helped me be so stress-free leading up to our birth. And even at like 38 weeks pregnant, going on 39 weeks, I was just like chilling, waiting for it to happen. I was not nervous. I wasn't scared. I just really felt super calm. And I think I owe that all to hypnobirthing. It's really incredible. So yeah, that was kind of our plan going in. Along with that, we wanted a natural delivery, a natural birth, minimal to no medical like interference or anything like that if possible. We really just wanted it to be a natural birth in a hospital. So beforehand, to prepare for labor, I was taking evening primrose vaginally and orally, and then I was drinking a crap ton of raspberry leaf tea, which is supposed to help your contractions be stronger and help you dilate faster, which in my case, you guys will see, did not work for me. But the evening primrose did help. And then 2 days before I went into labor, I actually started pumping. I would pump right before right before bed. And I would just pump for like 15 minutes, and I was actually getting a decent amount of colostrum. So I had done that along with, again, the evening primrose oils, starting at like 36 weeks. I started those orally, and then vaginally at 37. And then the raspberry leaf tea I was drinking from like 35 weeks on. So with all of that being said, I will go ahead and get into what actually happened. So Friday the 17th, I worked that day, and I was out of work at like 3:30, 4 o'clock. I went home, had a little snack, but we were heading out to Kyle's camp to have dinner with his family. It was his dad's birthday, so we went out to camp and we just sat down to have dinner, which my biggest regret was not eating, because I never actually had dinner. So the last time I had eaten on Friday was like around 1 o'clock. So by the way, I was 38 weeks plus 3 or 4 days. So we sat down at the picnic table to have dinner. It was 6 o'clock, and someone made me laugh, and I kind of like giggled like, ha, and I felt like a little like down there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think I just peed my pants from laughing. And there's so much going on down there at this point in pregnancy that like you're already wearing, or for me, like I was already wearing a pad and stuff, so I was just kind of like, oh, something just happened down there, like, and then I'm like, no, that actually just went through my yoga pants. Like that was kind of a lot. So I looked at Kyle's sister and I was like, I either just peed my pants or my water broke a little bit. She's like, okay. So we went to the bathroom, and TMI, this whole video is going to be TMI. So just throwing that out there. But I went to the bathroom and I did have to pee. So I peed, and then I couldn't really tell what was what, but there was still something like dripping out kind of like uncontrollably. And it was clear. It was not like sticky or anything. It didn't have a scent. It was literally just like water, essentially, a little bit thicker than water. So I was like, what the heck? And Kyle's like, I'm gonna call the doctor and just let him know. And I'm like, well, no, let's wait. And he really wanted to call the doctor, and I'm like, you know what? If it is my water, we probably should call. So we called the doctor, and they were like, yeah, come on in, and we'll confirm that her water broke or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we hop in the car, I sit on a towel, and at this point it's still just kind of dripping out. I called my mom, I told her I think my water broke, yada yada, and then I was like, I'll keep you updated. And then halfway to the hospital, I felt like a, and then a lot of water came out, and I was like, okay, my water definitely just broke. So I called my mom, told her my water broke. I'm like, meet us at the hospital, and then we'll all head home together, grab our bags, whatever. And Kyle was like, let's just grab our bags on the way there. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably smart. Plus I had to like put a diaper on or different pants or whatever because I was soaked. So we stopped at home, grabbed our hospital bags, which I had just finished packing that day. So then we hopped in the car and went to the hospital. So they checked me in and everything, and then she went and got like a wristband for me and started putting it on. And I was like, oh, like we're gonna go home and like labor at home. And she was like, your water broke, like you're admitted to the hospital after that point. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like I really wanted to labor at home. So then we were brought up to the labor and delivery floor, and we were put in a room, beautiful room. Our hospital has like a whole new labor and delivery floor, so it was gorgeous. We had a beautiful view of the river and all of that. So it was really, really nice. And then I'm trying to think like time wise, I'm so far off. But at that point it was like around 7 o'clock. And I was having just off and on contractions, really sporadic, and that lasted all night. So let me remind you a few things, and I'm gonna say this throughout this video. They do not let you eat. I repeat, they do not let you eat. I was brought saltine crackers and this little tiny thing of ice cream because I begged for it. But yeah, so I was starving at this point, obviously, and not knowing how long my labor was going to be. I still felt okay, because I was like, you know, this process is probably going to pick up here pretty soon and we'll be good to go. But they don't let you eat, and then a doctor comes in and is checking you like every hour. And so at this point, I wasn't in like a consistent labor pattern or anything like that. So obviously I was like, we should try to get some sleep. We don't know when this is really going to start, whether we get a nap or, you know, a full night's sleep with all these interruptions or whatever, it'll be beneficial. So we all tried to go to sleep. This was like around 9 or 10. And like I said, I was having sporadic contractions. Some were a little bit more intense than others, and then most of them I could sleep through, and they were just kind of like uncomfortable, like period cramps, but no pattern whatsoever. So the entire night that happened. Oh, these are so this is the outfit of the day. I'm not sure if you guys can guess what's going on here. Did you get these? But no, Courtney bought me those. These are cool. My Keep Calm and Push On socks. So we are at the hospital, and we got here, what, a couple hours ago. But I'm just having like little contractions every 10 minutes or so, nothing painful or anything. And they've got me like hooked up here, but they're gonna let me walk around. We requested that I walk around for a little bit, and then if nothing progresses like anytime fast, I'm really gonna try to get some sleep, some rest, and pretty much we'll have a baby here in 24 hours. How are you feeling, honey?
Good.
You nervous?
Yep, nervous but happy, excited, ready.
We're so excited to meet him. I can't even believe it. Like when I think about it, I can't even believe that we're gonna see him. We got Riley, and she got some snacks finally.
We got some ice cream.
Nothing she really wanted, but
There we go. None. She wanted mac and cheese and mashed potato, but we got ice cream and
Crackers.
saltine crackers.
She brought the crackers in, and then she had this, and I saw it like that, and I thought it was like a little thing of cream cheese. And I was wicked excited to dip my crackers in it, but it's vanilla ice cream, which is also really good, but I want cheese. Do you want to buy this?
Nope.
Good.
You ate my ice cream last night, and you eat that ice cream. I want to keep my hands, so.
Yeah, last night we went to Dairy Queen, and I got a Blizzard, and he got a Blizzard, and I was like, oh, this could be our last ice cream, me and Knox, like, together. And then I ate our ice cream, and then he didn't finish it, so I finished his. And then I put it in the freezer, but I didn't finish, and I ate it today. Now I'm having more. What? I haven't eaten like that the whole pregnancy. That was like really naughty. Usually I have an ice cream, not two. He was just laughing, smiling at me. So it is, what time is it? 2:30 in the morning. We slept for off and on for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
We all laid down and tried to get some sleep, and then we woke up, they had some snacks.
yeah, Riley didn't eat anything.
I didn't eat anything. No, she let me have a popsicle and some crackers.
Let's be.
Am I supposed to? See my feet? Oh, shit, I just lost some liquid. Oh! Oh! Where are the pads?
Bottom drawer.
In the drawer, honey.
Drawer, honey.
I know, what are those things?
That's a fucking door. The drawer. Pull out drawer, Riley.
Oh.
It's a drawer, she says. God love her.
I won't show my sexy panties that I have on. Keep that concealed. Save those for later.
With your penis.
Good morning, guys. Still no baby.
Good morning.
Yeah, things are just progressing super, super slow. I'm definitely having contractions, like regular contractions. There's just no like pattern to them, and then some have been like difficult. I've definitely had like a handful of ones where I had to breathe through them, and they were like difficult. The other ones I was kind of able to like rest through. They weren't that intense. I just had one really good one, so I'm hoping to have another good one here in a minute. Last night we did have like a little bit of a scare. We were all sleeping, and the nurse kind of like rushed in and turned the lights on, and I guess his heart rate had dropped because since my water broke and he's not in fluid anymore, he was laying, or potentially laying on his cord, which was cutting off his supply, blood supply and everything. So then they like threw oxygen on me, and I had to get an IV, which I really did not want to do at all. So they just pumped me with fluid a little bit. I'm not sure what that did. So yeah, there was that little bit of a scare, and I cried because it was scary. I was just scared. Like she told me to roll over, and she was kind of like pushing me and like telling me in like kind of an urgent way. So I'm like trying to roll over. Meanwhile, I'm having a contraction, so it was painful to try to completely flip. And I was like, okay, you know, I'm just trying to do what she's telling me to. So I roll over, and she's like, the baby's heart rate has dropped. And then she has like an assistant. She's like, get the oxygen mask. And it just like, I don't know, it kind of did feel like in the movies when it's like, which is totally not what we've wanted. But of course, if it's for the safety of the baby, then that's fine. And Mom and Kyle were right here with me and everything. It was just hard to like wake up and be like bombarded and whatever. But he's doing fine now. We haven't had any issues with his heart rate or anything. He's happy boy, but slow process here, and I'm freaking starving out of my mind.
You haven't had anything to eat, have you? Babe?
Not a thing. They gave me a pack of saltines, like that was gonna do something.
I was thinking of the timer.
I'm like, can Mama get a popsicle? But I think I might actually like, shower and like put some mascara on. I don't know, but we're here for the day, so we're just hoping to speed things up. I'm gonna bounce on the ball and walk. So Kyle slept with me in bed, which was so cute. God love him, because there really was like no room on that bed. But we woke up in the morning and still my contractions were not like in a pattern or anything. So then the conversation of pitocin started. And I really did not want any medical interventions. I did not want any drugs, anything to push labor. I just wanted it to happen naturally so badly. And I made that very clear to our nurse, and she was super supportive of that, thank goodness. But my doctor had come in, I don't remember, sometime during the morning, like 10, 11 o'clock or something, and said that if the baby was not delivered by morning, that they would have to deliver the baby. So I interpreted that as if he was not here by the morning, C-section was going to be potentially the only option. So she was very concerned that he was not going to be delivered by morning. So they were really trying to push the pitocin. And I said, I don't want pitocin. Can I have until, you know, 2:30, and I will make a decision. Hey guys, so it is currently 11:10. And we were up around like 6:30. Yeah, 6:30 this morning, like officially for the morning. And I haven't been checked or anything today. We're just kind of waiting, but I've had quite a few stronger contractions. They're still pretty irregular, but I'm definitely like progressing. It's more than I was having like last night. So I've tried to keep it light. I had some like soup broth and watermelon crackers. Cream cheese. Cream cheese chips and crackers. I mean, I've been in labor for too long to not eat. Like, yeah, I would be starving. I'd be going on almost 24 hours right now.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, anywho, feeling pretty good right now. We got at least a decent amount of sleep, enough to form sentences and function. I think we're all just running on excitement and adrenaline right now. It smells good.
Did you shave your legs in the shower, Kyle?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So I'm extra girl done anyway.
So, I wanted to take one more nap, so around 1 o'clock, I laid down and took a nap. Again, sleeping in and out because of my contractions, but I was able to sleep through most of them because they weren't that intense. Okay, so yeah, when I woke up from my nap, she checked me to see if I was dilated at all. Had been just 1 centimeter dilated at the beginning of the week, and then when I got to the hospital, I was still only 1 centimeter. So we were kind of assuming that it was gonna be the same status, but when she checked me, I was actually at a 3. So all of those contractions that I had had like all night, and the ones that were a little bit more intense, had actually done something, so that was great. And at this point, again, my contractions still weren't regular, but I was like, okay, well, something's happening, so let me go for a walk, let me do some squats, and let's just like see what happens. So we walked around and I was doing like some squats. Kyle was like squatting with me.
Is it exercise time or what?
Yeah.
All right.
Got my diaper.
This is what we're doing. This is happening.
We got one with diaper on and one without a diaper.
Yeah.
One diaperless.
Just trying to get this baby out.
We'll let you guess which one's not wearing the diaper.
Ready to go walk around?
Yeah, we're gonna go for a walk.
Yeah, time to walk.
My contractions definitely started to get more intense. I was dealing with them really, really well. We were going for walks out in the hallway. I was like squatting down and like holding the bar that was on the wall. And squatting really helped me because, and I want this birth story to be completely positive, but I'm going to be honest with you in parts too. I was having back labor, really bad back labor, and I had back labor all day on Friday, and I didn't even know it because my back was killing me and it kept going into spasm, and I didn't realize that those were actually contractions. So back labor is extremely uncomfortable, and I've heard from people who have had like regular contractions and then back labor that back labor is so awful. And obviously I only have this one experience to go off of, but I would not wish that discomfort on anybody. It really, really is super uncomfortable. But it's nothing that like I couldn't handle. I'm just saying the contractions themselves, I was so distracted by how much my back was hurting that I almost didn't feel the contractions in the front because it was just so strong in my back.
Yes, it is.
Or I can put it up here, or wherever you... Yeah, this is good.
High-waisted belt.
I don't know if I need to start admitting that I'm in pain.
That's okay. Just take your time. We can see it in your face, honey. You don't have to say anything. Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
You don't have to explain anything. Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi.
They're doing so good.
Mama's kicking butt.
Hang in there, honey.
But I was like all about my back. I was asking Kyle to push on my hips, push them in the back, massage my back. I was in the shower. I was telling him hotter, like put the water hotter. And he's like, honey, it's as hot as it goes. Like it won't go any warmer. I just wanted pure heat on my back just to like, I don't even know, like burn the pain away almost. Like I just wanted it so hot. So I labored in the shower for a while. I walked, I squatted, I did so many things. And that was like, I don't know, she checked me a couple hours later and I was at a 4. And I was like, okay, this is moving kind of slow, but no big deal, we'll keep going. So eventually I did get in the shower when things started to get more intense, and I was in the shower for probably 4 hours. At this point, I was breathing through contractions, but I was very vocal. I was saying some really random things. Like during contractions, I would go, wow, wow, when they would get really intense. So it's actually kind of funny, and we were kind of laughing about it in between contractions. I was still in a really good headspace thinking that I was doing this all naturally. It was going exactly how I wanted, other than the fact that I had been in labor for more than 24 hours. I hadn't eaten, I hadn't slept, but I was still in a very positive mindset because I was using my hypnobirthing, and I was just feeling really proud and motivated and excited that our baby was coming and that we were able to do this naturally. So is extremely intense as the contractions got, and they were climbing the whole time. Like they were getting harder and harder and harder, and there were some that I was for sure were like, you know, getting me somewhere. But I was just still so positive and able to talk through like in between contractions. So I would make like little jokes. Like I kept saying these poor people in this hospital because I felt like I was being so loud. And now looking back at the footage that my mom took, I guess I wasn't being as loud as I felt like I was, but I really felt like I was moaning and groaning pretty loud. But being vocal really helped for me. They kept asking, do you want us to check you? Do you want us to check you? And I was like, no, I'm in transition. I can feel it. I can feel him moving down. In my heart, I was like, I know I'm in transition. I'm at like an 8 right now. If I have 2, 3, 4 more hours of this, like I've got this. Even though I was in the most discomfort I've ever felt, I was still super positive. So eventually I was like, okay, these contractions are crazy. Like they're getting harder and harder. Let's have them check me. I know I'm in transition. Like, let's do this. Hey guys, so I had been in the hospital for more than 24 hours, laboring for, you know, however many hours, and I had been checked, let me think, probably 5 hours before that, and was at a 4. So she's checking me and she's kind of taking her time, and I just felt this lump in my throat, and I'm like, I'm not where I think I am. And she's like, so we're at like almost a 6. And I'm like, and this is the point in our labor where the first point that I felt defeated and felt, I can't even really describe the feeling, because I knew that he had to be delivered by morning, and I had just had really intense labor for, you know, however many hours. And at this point I was just so exhausted, and to hear that I was only at a 6, I just started bawling. And I told my mom and Kyle, I said, I don't know what to do. There's nothing more that I can do. Like, I have to give in, or I'm gonna end up with a C-section, 1, because my labor's moving so slow, or 2, because I am so freaking exhausted. If I labor all night, I'm not gonna be able to push him out. Like, I was extremely concerned about that. So I gave in to the epidural, and we went on pitocin. So I got my epidural, which compared to the contractions in the back pain, I was nothing. And I hate needles. Hate them. Of course, with my luck, it only works on one side. So I could still feel my contractions in my right side. So I labored like that for a little bit, and then I'm like, you know what? I'm still not able to sleep through these, because on my right side, they were still intense enough that I wasn't able to sleep. And the whole point of the epidural was so that I could get some rest. So they had to take the epidural out, put a new one in, which luckily worked on both sides. I still could feel a little bit more on my right side, but I was able to sleep through it. So I slept for a couple hours. They put me on pitocin, and still 6 hours later, guys, 6 hours later, then I was 10 centimeters dilated. So
Mama, what do you have to say to baby Knox?
I love you so, so much, and you're doing such a good job, and we cannot wait to meet you. Like, we're so close. So close.
I love you, baby Knox. We can't wait to meet you.
We're ready for you, buddy. So I actually really, really loved pushing. I absolutely loved it. And I believe they turned the epidural down a little bit, and maybe not, but that's what I believe happened. And so I could still feel like what was going on. So I could feel his head coming out. Like, I could still feel a little bit of the ring of fire. And it was definitely still uncomfortable, but I wasn't in pain. It was just like really uncomfortable. I loved pushing. I felt like I had a job to do, and they kept telling me I was like doing a really good job, and that every push was bringing him closer. And I felt down, and his head was like really coming out. And I just started crying, because it was honestly just the most amazing thing. It's just unexplainable. Sorry, I'm getting a little choked up. It's super unreal. It's like an out-of-body experience. And it was just truly, truly amazing to have my husband there and my mom there. And to be able to be in a positive mindset, well rested, and just to be able to soak up that moment of him actually like coming into the world was truly incredible. Hour and 15 minutes, and he came out. They laid him on my chest, but then seeing Kyle hold him for the first time was one of the most incredible moments of my life. It was so beautiful. So overall, our birth experience was incredible. Like I said, I really can't stress enough that however you give birth is just as amazing as anyone else. And if you are pregnant and you're going to be giving birth soon, please do not stress over it. Don't be afraid of it, because it's natural. Your body knows what to do, and essentially it's out of your control. So you just kind of have to let your body be and let your body do what it needs to do, and then also, you know, be honest with yourself and be okay making decisions, and try not to feel forced into decisions. Ask questions and just kind of push your way of doing things, because essentially if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have gotten to labor naturally as long as I did. Remind yourself what your body's doing and why you're feeling this way, because that really helped me get through the contractions and things like that. So yeah, thank you guys so, so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if you guys are giving birth soon, you've got this and you can do it, and just stay positive, believe in yourself, and everything will work out just the way it's supposed to. So I love you guys so, so much, and we will see you very soon. Bye.